Well, greetings, faithful followers. I'm Brother Jack Angry, and this is Inferna, the cougar from hell.
Hello, everyone.
And we wanted to take a minute here to give a special shout out to a good friend of ours, our friends at the Shilling Shockers TV show, namely Penny Dreadful the 13th, and her husband and sidekick, Guru the Werewolf. Their real-life counterparts, Danielle Gallagher and Magoo Gallagher, you know, they've had some rough times over the last year or so. Her husband, Magoo, who plays Guru the Werewolf, has been battling cancer, and as you know, with this kind of an illness and the treatments you have to go through to keep it at bay, obviously that takes a toll on a person emotionally, physically, and most importantly, financially.
Family.
Yes, and it takes a toll on the family. I know Penny's, or Danielle has taken up, you know, to try and do her best to cover any lost income by working more than one job. And that's been especially hard on her, and, you know, we salute her for that, and Magoo for everything he does. That's why we want to tell you about a site on GoFundMe.com. It's Magoo's medical expenses, and we'll be putting a link here at the bottom of this announcement here, and it may be on the screen right now. I'm sure you'll be able to see it, but please take a moment to go to the site, follow that link, and donate what you can, even if it's just a few dollars or as little as $5. Every little bit helps. This is going to help Magoo recap or recover what he's lost for wages, what he's lost for, it's going to help make his medical expenses, and it's going to help with the things, give him the peace of mind that he can concentrate on his fight and hopefully make a full recovery. And that's what we're all pulling for here. The crew, myself, Inferna, Brother James, Torrid, Dedra, we're all pulling for Magoo to make a complete recovery. And for him to do that, he's got to focus 100% on fighting his illness and coming back better and stronger than before in 2014. And we want to help that happen. So even if you can't donate, or you can only donate a few bucks, if you can't donate, then spread this around. Like this video on Facebook. Share it with your friends, your family, your Facebook friends, your Twitter friends. Let's get Magoo the support he needs to beat this and to come back stronger than ever. So, I'm Brother Jack Angry, along with Inferna, and from the rest of the crew here at the Angry Brothers Omaha Shakarama. Magoo, keep fighting. Hang in there, buddy. We've all got your back on this.
Show support that there's people out there that actually care.
That's
when
right.
You're in that situation.
And we know that, I mean, I check the site every day, and we know that many of you care. A lot of you have donated. They're at over 50% towards their goal. So with a little bit more love, a little more support, we can get them to where they need to be so that Magoo can focus on his recovery without having to worry about covering these expenses. And we're going to do everything we can, and we hope you will too. So thank you and enjoy. Well, greetings, faithful followers. This is your old pal, Brother Jack Angry, along with Inferna, the cougar from hell, my co-host.
Hello, everyone.
And welcome to the Monastery of Mayhem for another edition of the Angry Brothers Omaha Shakarama. Now, Inferna, so tonight we're going to go ahead and bring you an experimental piece done by one of our great indie film directors. You've seen his piece, one of his pieces before, the feature-length film, thecampushouse.com. You would know him as Lee Turner from this great state of Missouri. And this piece that we're bringing you tonight is a work that he did about roughly the same time, give or take a year or so. It's called Soft White Light. And we both, Inferna and I, both had a chance to screen this prior to doing this broadcast. So I'm going to ask your opinion of Inferna. So what did you think of it?
First off, it's a small clip, which is about how many minutes?
It runs about 8.5 minutes.
8.5 minutes.
And it was filmed in Super 8, which gives it a very kind of a 70s kind of grainy,
demonic looking.
Exactly, a grainy kind of a quality. Very, very atmospheric, very disturbing when you watch it. But I didn't mean to step on you there.
No, it reminds me of a movie that I don't know the title of, but the movie I watched was on witches, where it's actually based possibly on a true story where witches go into this, people go in this small town, burn all these witches, and it doesn't matter if you're a witch or not. If they think you're a witch, they're gonna like burn you. So it wasn't witchcraft, it was some kind of
like some kind of supernatural activity, something like that.
Yeah, so it kind of reminded me of that.
Okay.
Killings and stuff like that.
Okay, and I would have to agree with that. I mean, the atmosphere of the film, with the fact that it was such a short clip, and the fact that there was no real dialogue in the movie, the atmosphere was totally dependent on the soundtrack and the music track. There was a lot of really great effects done with the voices. For example, there was a sequence toward the end of the film that the phrase "soft white light" was just repeated over and over, and there was a lot of reverb and a lot of echo thrown in to make it kind of really kind of disturbing in a lot of ways. But very well done bit right there. The film seems to be centered around a group of women at a dinner party who are systematically murdering the guests one by one.
Are they drugging them too or not?
It's
like she's sprinkling sugar or
something,
salt or
something was sprinkled in the food. I don't know if they were being drugged or
because the other guy didn't look so like in a hurry to run away when the girl was getting stabbed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the scene where the girl is sitting at the table and the other one comes up behind her, throws her arm around her neck, and then stabbing her when she's down.
She thought she was a kitty cat.
Yeah, just sitting there licking the blood off and everything. So that was really, really kind of. I don't want to use. Well, I want to use the word creepy because it is so appropriate. So I will use the word creepy, but it was very atmospheric. This is the kind of film that I can imagine that would come from the mind of a serial killer or one.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, it's like, great job, Lee.
Something's talking to them, or they got all these thoughts in their head. Yeah,
exactly. Were you hearing voices when you did this film?
It's called schizophrenic, I think.
Well, it really came across fantastic. Definitely, if you're going to expand on this, we definitely want to see more of it, and we will, be happy to run that here. So Inferno, before we go ahead and run the clip, any final thoughts?
The ending. It was a short clip.
Yeah, it was.
I was just trying to figure out what...
You mean the way it just cut off to black and that was it, know? Well, it was almost reminiscent of The Sopranos, if you watched that series. Those of us who watched it, we hung in there with Tony and the rest of the gang for 7 years, and what did we fucking get, people? Onion rings, So it's like, this is like Lee just walking up to me and saying, enjoy your onion rings, But it was still very, very atmospheric that it just, like somebody turned a light switch off.
And Lee was the guy at the sink, right?
Yes, Lee was the guy at the sink with the glass of wine in the ashtray,
okay.
And, I've watched it several times. I don't really know what his character's relevance was, and maybe after I watch it a few more times I'll figure that out. So if Lee wants to let us know, and you can look for Lee on our Blog Talk radio show live from the Monastery of Mayhem. We'll hopefully have him coming up in the next couple of weeks.
I'd really like to see him like whipping shit, like leather and
it's like, yes,
beating up some girls in like leather.
Okay, well we know that okay, Inferno.
Not like I like that.
Inferno's kinky. Who knew?
Some things I watch
it's always
just excites me.
It's always the quiet ones you gotta watch, and you know it's like any local adult bookstores wanna get this girl some free merchandise. We'll promote you. I mean, we'll promote the crap out of you. Really, we will.
I don't mind trying things.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
I'll let you know if the shit sucks.
Whatever, well, you know, how are you going to know what you like or what you don't like if you don't try it?
You know, it works different for everybody.
Exactly.
It doesn't work the same.
Everybody's got their kinks and what have you, and you know, and obviously
I'm just thinking a dirty Christian Grey right now, you know, just whoosh.
Oh my God, Christian Grey.
Like seeing that attorney guy, Lee, and
yes.
with the wine and doing that weird stuff in the mirror, and then he just goes and finds this girl and
yeah, it's like I was trying to see what was painted on the wall of that shower when the one person was in there. All we saw was the letters R-E, and it's like, what word is that? I can think of a few words.
Backwards E-R.
There you go. But, you know, it was all in all, I'm going to give this film a very high rating because of its experimental nature, because it is very edgy, and because it's definitely one of the
clothes they were wearing too. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yes, exactly. The women in the long, some of them in the long cocktail dresses, and yeah. Exactly. I mean, it was a very atmospheric piece, very avant-garde, at least as far as Brother Jack is concerned. And you know, I don't claim to be a film connoisseur. I mean, let's face it. If I was, would I be bringing you some of the gems we bring on the show? Come on. Last week we ran Beast from Haunted Cave, for Christ's sakes, and we all know what a stinker that was. But the giant puppet spider was kind of cool, you know, and the girls getting the life sucked out of them and the blood and all that, you know. So it's like, you know, it's like every time I see a spider, I step on that fucker.
I don't know how big they get.
It's like, yeah, if it's bigger than I am, I could have a problem. But we're going to bring you the clip, Soft White Light, from Lee Turner, here on the Angry Brothers Omaha Shockorama. And we're going to deviate from our usual format. So what we'll do is we'll give you a chance to watch the film in its entirety without interruption on our part. And then we'll be back at the end of the film and, you know, we'll kind of wrap up a few more things. And we have some other great news to bring you. And we'll be talking a little more about that after the movie. Enjoy. And this is, again, Soft White Light from Lee Turner.
Enjoy!
前几天我送来了外的屋子。我忘了再跟小人
Well, welcome back, faithful followers. What did you think of Soft White Light? Wasn't that movie kind of weird, kind of trippy, kind of far out? But it was pretty disturbing in a lot of scenes.
I just know I wish I was tripping watching that movie.
I know, that's definitely one, that's like you want to have a couple of shots of NyQuil and,
Yeah, I was going to say my wish list to do is watch it trippy.
Smoke a big fatty and have a few doses of NyQuil while you're watching that. Probably it'd make perfect sense at that point. But
once a year isn't bad. Just do something different.
That's right. Be creative, go crazy. And here at the Angry Brothers, we do not condone the use of the misuse of any prescription or over-the-counter cold medications. We save that for those weirdos in Colorado. $400 an ounce, guys. Way to go!
But if you hand it to me, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's like and what we don't get a fucking care package. You never call, you never write, you never send us anything.
Where's my first aid kit?
Yeah, exactly. I'm
burning right now.
I need a care package from Colorado. But anyway, it's like yes, with what Brother Jack has to go through, he needs a lot of it. It's like I need a brick about yay big by yay big, or at least a good hookah pipe.
Notice how I'm quiet over here.
Yeah, it's like she's shutting up. Here, let Brother Jack hang himself. But anyway,
don't jump!
Yeah, it's like, get off the ledge before you fucking die. But anyway, faithful followers, I said we had some really great news, and here it is. Your old pal, Brother Jack Angry, as you know, we have many different venues of reaching you, our faithful followers and fans. Not only is our YouTube, our public access TV show, the Jack Angry blog, the Angry Brothers blog, the Jack Angry blog Facebook page, our Angry Brothers Horror Host Happenings page on Facebook, and the Angry Brothers Show page on Facebook. Hold on, wretched lips.
It's because we ran into really nice people.
Yes, we have. We've ran into some wonderful people, and we got some great news. Basically, towards the end of last week, George A. Romero, the father of the zombie genre of films, basically the zombie father himself, the High Father himself, actually
the guy that gave me nightmares.
Yes, he gave us all nightmares. I mean, it's like, I'm sending you some of my therapy bills, George. Enjoy. He actually let me know that he likes our Jack Angry Show blog, and he likes some of our other projects, and we are ever so grateful. I mean, this is like getting the thumbs up from God. It would be like, JC and the boys and all 12 of the apostles appear and give us the old thumbs up. That's a really big vote of confidence. I mean, and it just warms the cockles of my old dead heart, believe me. After Brother Jack getting kind of kicked in the teeth by certain individuals, literally as well as figuratively, but we won't talk about my personal life.
Please do. Come on, tell us.
Or my love life, for that matter. It's like, anyway.
We do this for therapy.
Yes, this is all therapy. It's cheaper than therapy, and it's
the only time I can
easier
really
to do than getting pills, too, so enjoy it, people. You're up at 1 a.m. on a Saturday morning watching public access. What did you think you was going to see? But anyway, getting a recommendation of this kind from somebody like George A. Romero is a fantastic shot in the arm to the morale of our show. It tells us that we are doing things correctly, we are moving in the right direction, and we're just going to keep that momentum up. We're going to keep going forward. Ever forward is the watchwords for this show. And myself and Inferna, Gulia, Dedra, Brother James,
wherever you are.
Yes, Torrid, Ash, Sin, all the crew here are just thrilled to death about this. So you can look for us at the 36th annual Groundhog Prom, February 1st at the Sokol. We will be there. We'll be walking around with the crowd, schmoozing, looking at people's costumes, doing interviews, and just the other various brands of insanity that we're famous for. And as far as anyone else, red-haired hack, loser.
I got caught up in it. Like, I don't want to leave. This last band they had that was awesome.
Yes, the bands are very good. I
never did get in touch with them because they were wanting us to interview them. So
we'll have to figure. I think it was Satchel Grande and the Bishops.
I didn't really hear the ones upstairs.
Okay,
the ones
I'm pretty sure that was the Bishops.
The ones in the basement, they were actually filling in for someone else.
Okay.
And they had that big, I don't know what you call that big guitar thing.
Yeah, the bass, the big bass.
And actually, the main singer of it is the owner, possibly, of Liquid Courage.
Liquid Courage Tattoos.
Tattoo place, Lee.
Okay.
So, God, I can't.
Well, we'll have to get in touch. We'll have to get in touch with him.
But I want to thank all of the fans and everyone that's watching this stuff.
Yes, and you'll
thanks,
know.
George. Mwah.
Yes, thank you, George, so much. And you'll notice at the beginning of will have noticed at the beginning of the show, you'll see our promo spot for a good friend of ours, Magoo Gallagher, to her, aka Guru the Werewolf, from the Shilling Shockers TV show, and they're out of Salem, Massachusetts. As you know, Magoo is obviously battling cancer, and he's set up a GoFundMe page to help recoup the cost for some of his medical treatments, lost income, and other expenses. And we hope you'll all give generously. Take a look at it. The link is on the promo at the beginning of the show. We're still good. Big Brain is still our sponsor. We're just kind of rotating things out until we can get some new spots filmed for them. And we'll be getting in touch with you about that, Smitty, shortly. So you can expect to see us soon. Other than that, I did want to also throw a big shout out to a friend of ours, Kurt Larson, producer, director, and writer and visionary who created the film Son of Ghostman. I actually had a chance to watch this film in its entirety. I mean, to sit down and really watch it. And
he's great.
It's a fantastic film. It's an indie piece. Basically, it tells of the struggle of one would-be horror host to resurrect his idol, the Ghostman. He calls himself the son of Ghostman.
I would say his dad did this too, right? Or am I wrong?
No, his dad didn't do it, but he was influenced by another horror host, an older one called Ghostman.
Okay, that's
and
what it
basically the film covers his life. I mean, he's just gotten out of a bad relationship. His girlfriend leave him. He's on the verge of losing his home because his brother, who's a real douchebag, by the way, and we're all familiar with that type, should be wearing a lab coat, but he wasn't. But if you look hard enough, you can see the lab coat.
The ones that never come to see you and then judge you? Oh,
there you go. Type. Those kind. Yes, you know I'm who we're talking about. Anyway, his brother is on the verge of throwing him out of his family home. And against all odds, he meets a girl. He begins a tentative relationship with this girl, all the while resurrecting his idol's show as the son of Ghostman. And he's fighting his nemesis, the sparkly, sexy vampire Count Dracul, who is, by the way, played by Kurt Larson.
I hope he sparkles like a mother.
No, well, it's like he's one of them sexy vampires that women just love. He's a bit of a product-pushing, slick used car salesman. I believe the phrase that the Son of Ghostman character uses is a D-bag. And Kurt, you pulled it off really great.
So basically just good to look at.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
No, those kind.
Yes, we've all dealt with them.
You're just good to look at.
Just a pretty boy. But anyway, we won't go into the whole movie.
Sorry.
And you can actually follow the Son of Ghostman at Son of Ghostman on Twitter. You can look up Son of Ghostman on Facebook, and you can Google Son of Ghostman to find his webpage. And you can also buy a copy of the film from him. I believe the price is $12.99. I might be wrong about that, so don't hold me to it. But it's a really great film. It's a great indie piece, and we are all about the indie films here at the Angry Brothers Omaha Shockorama, because indie filmmaking is the heart and soul of horror movie today in America. Not this corporate pablum, the rebootings, the reimaginings. You know, the re-whatever, you know, it's like, I swear, I think Hollywood has just ran out of ideas. Now let's do remakes of everything.
Let's just be real.
You know, we're going to reimagine everything. Why? It all worked great the first time around. Why do we need to reimagine anything?
Usually when you redo it, it kind of sucks.
Well, yeah, it's like, although the Man of Steel, the reboot of the Superman franchise with Man of Steel, you know, after that Superman Returns debacle, you know, Brandon Routh taking all of our hopes and taking a big steaming shit on them the way he did. The Man of Steel reboot is a refreshing reimagining of the franchise. Hell, I even like the new uniform. And Henry Cavill as Superman was a darker, grittier kind of Superman. And let's face it, the ending of it, you know, it's like, ain't no big blue boy scouts here.
Well, my friend and I, we just got done watching Flowers in the Attic, the remake of it, and we liked the older version better because they don't really...
Flowers...
acting kind of sucked for the...
Flowers in the Attic, was that Jodie Foster or the original version? Who?
I'm not sure what...
I've heard of the movie,
Jamie... that's the... something about boys or something. But anyway, so they didn't really go into like... It kind of sucked at the end. I think we were all just little...
Well, that's the way most reboots are. I mean, only a few of them have really...
The older ones are better. Remakes kind of just...
Well, it's like, yeah...
the fun out of...
Well, that's it. They do. They take the fun out of it because you have the characters that you love to see, and, you know, their parts...
It was good, though.
Well, yeah, it's always entertaining, but the characters, for example, the original Superman with Christopher Reeve, that's a part of Brother Jack's younger days, and... You know,
we don't like to see change.
No, nobody likes change. I mean, we don't like getting things moved in the cage. You know, but we will give the Man of Steel remake a big thumbs up as far as that's concerned.
Have you seen the remake of Carrie?
I have not, with Chloe Grace Moretz from.
I haven't seen it yet.
I want to. It's on my to-do list. And there's a new film out called Devil's Due that looks very interesting too. I mean, demonic babies, you know. It's like, so that's going to be interesting. Let's just hope their heads don't spin around and they shoot green vomit. That would be a little overdone, but you know, to wrap it all up here, and people, the remakes are okay. They are good fodder for the masses. But the indie director, the indie producer, the indie horror mavens that you see, like, for example, Lee Turner, Kurt Larson, and others, the list is quite endless. They are the true spirit of horror movies in America. They are bringing things that are fresh, original, the concepts have never been seen. So, again, support the indie filmmaker wherever you can. Go to their film festivals. If you're lucky enough to have a film festival in your city, not one that's put on by a certain other horror host that we won't talk about, but anyway, you know, avoid that one like the plague. Anyhow, I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? Damn demons! I think my demonic possession is acting up. But anyway, we're going to leave it at this. So again, we hope you enjoyed tonight's movie, Soft White Light, by indie film director Lee Turner, here on the Angry Brothers Omaha Shakorama. I'm Brother Jack Angry, along with Inferna, the cougar from hell. And doesn't she look fantastic today, people?
I forgot my skirt.
Yes, well, you know, it's like...
Whoops.
Well, I'm not complaining, and Master Vile in Poe County, Florida, here you go.
I have no idea what that is.
Yes, it's like, you know, you owe me, buddy. Anyway, good night, unpleasant dreams, and let's keep America on top. Watch Horror Host, y'all. Good night.
Good night.